Welcome to the Diminutive Soldier. Pretty excited to do this game. This is Unmatched. Unmatched is a battle. There are no equals. Anyone, anywhere. Unmatched is a fast-paced game of tactical combat between unlikely opponents. Pick your favorite hero, choose a map, and use the hero's unique deck and abilities to win the day. Unmatched has had quite a few expansions in the past couple of years. This is the very first box right here. In this first box that came out, it had King Arthur, Medusa, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and Sinbad. Battle them out. People from all different areas of fantasy and mythology fighting each other. There's been several other boxes that come out over the years. This is only a small portion of them. I have every single expansion, but I've combined them in boxes. This is after combining. I had quite a lot of boxes. There's Cobble and Fog. Comes with the Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Dracula, Sherlock Holmes. We have Marvel sets. We have Houdini and Genie. We have so many. We have Jurassic Park sets. There's so many coming. There's so many more. This game is truly unbelievable. Could it be the best tactical skirmish board game ever created? Could it be the best out there? Let's find out. First, I want to show you what you get when you open a box of Unmatched. Every box is compatible with each other, and every box can also be played in of itself. This is Brains and Bronze, the Marvel set that comes with She-Hulk, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange. So you'll open them up, you'll get your rule book. Every rule book, the rules are the same, but it may add in the back, it'll add, kind of explain maybe some of the abilities of the individual heroes that are in there. They'll come with a map. Here's this one right here. Double-sided. The exact same map. It's just these circles with their colors. You don't want it so dominant. I have the other side. Then it comes with this fantastic inlay. Just look at this. Let's check out She-Hulk miniature. The miniatures come pre-washed. Great little minis. They come with these bases if you want to keep them on there. And it comes with their deck of cards. Now, if you pre-order these on their website, you always get a special foil card you can replace one in the deck with. So here's She-Hulk. She does melee attacks. Here's her health. She moves to those little circles. And at the start of your turn, you can discard a card to deal damage equal to its boost value to a fighter in your zone. And she has her deck of cards that do all kind of different things for She-Hulk, which I'll get into explaining how cards work and the abilities. And then it'll come with her health dial, which she'll start at 20 and work her way down. It's fantastic artwork on everything. The back of the cards have their own custom art. There's hers. Here's Doctor Strange. Here's his miniature. Very cool miniature. Here's his foil card and his artwork. Well, check that out. Isn't that beautiful? And all the custom artwork on all the cards. It's not just recycled artwork from some other games or screenshots from a movie. Then his tokens for health. And he has, some people come with minions. He has Wong, who's his minion. Now the minions won't have miniatures. They'll have these nice little plastic tokens that will be on the board. Some don't come with one. She-Hulk didn't. She came with a lot of health. And he has Spider-Man as well. And here's his artwork. Now the Spider-Man miniature, I'm going to be honest, to me is a little funky. Let's focus. The webbing, look, that one's a little funky. But I see what they're going for. So that's what the box is. I just wanted to do an unboxing of what they all come with and what the inlays of them look like. And I want to show you when you paint up a miniature, how this is King Arthur I painted. They paint up nicely. They're really good board game miniatures. I painted him as his artwork is depicted in the game. There's a bunch of other miniatures. Check this one out. You got the T-Rex from Jurassic Park you can play with. You can play the T-Rex against Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You can play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde against the genie, or the raptors from Jurassic Park, or Beowulf, or Achilles. Nope, not Achilles. This is crap. What's his name from 300? No, that is Achilles. Yeah, Achilles. Or Ghost Rider on his motorcycle. He has special ability. He flies through, and if he moves through enemies, he puts them on fire and does damage. I mean, just check out all the people. You got Dracula. Robin Hood. And he has a bunch of his merry men. Bigfoot. What other game can you have Bigfoot versus Genie versus the Invisible Man versus T-Rex? I'm going to go off and say there's not that many games. So what you do is you're going to pick a map. The game has a bunch of maps with all the expansions, of course. I got a ton of different maps in here. These are the larger maps that you can play 2 players, or you can play up to 4 players at a time. You can do free-for-all, you can do team games. I'm going to get one of the maps out. This one comes with this side. Has like a ship over here. Has some land over here. Or the other side, you can see, it has some walls up here. And it has this, you can go under the walls. It has these ladders you can climb up. So, what does this all mean on the map? What are all these circles and stuff for? I'm glad you asked. So the circles are your spaces your miniatures would be on. The black lines are just, they're connected to those spaces next to them with a black line. So when you're moving, you can only move the spaces they're connected to. Now some, this is the basic map, very basic. Some will have, like the one I showed you a while ago, this black line that's a little opaque. That means it goes under that wall. So that one, this one's connected to those two down here. Okay. There's also some maps that have elevation. There's also some maps that have items on them where you can place items and pick them up. And you'll see, for instance, here's a map that has a bunch of elevation on it, as you can see. So this is elevated, it's higher up. So if you're attacking down, that means you'll do extra damage from here to here. Same here. If you're attacking down, you'll do extra damage and going down these stairs because you're higher up attacking down on someone. And this is the other side that just has the artwork. You could see the background more. Now the colors of the circles are very important. But generally I play on these maps. The color of the circles are when it comes to range. So let's say you had someone like Robin Hood, for instance, who has a range attack. Whenever you're going to shoot at anyone, you could shoot at them if they're in a circle with your same color. It's as simple as that. So he cannot hit King Arthur. King Arthur's only on purple. However, if Robin Hood was here on this circle that has all 3 of those colors, he can shoot King Arthur. He could shoot in any of those colors. So it's a good spot for someone with range to be. So let's set up a quick little game. Set a game up between King Arthur and Houdini. An interesting fight. So it says you place them on the 1 and 2 spots. There's a little 1 right here. There's a little 2 right here. There's also a 3 and 4 if you're playing for up to 4 players. And it says you place the youngest player places first. Whatever, you can just do it random. I place King Arthur on 1, place Houdini on 2. Here's Houdini. There's special rules. He's only a melee attack, not range. There's his health. He can move up to 2 circles. And he has a little ally, Bess, who's melee. She has 5 health. When you take the maneuver action and boost, you may place Houdini in any space instead of moving, which I'll explain that in a minute. Here's King Arthur. He has a lot more health. He's melee. When he attacks, you can boost that attack, play the boost card, blah, blah. I'll explain that in a minute. And he has Merlin, who is a range attack. Now you place your allies in a space of the same color as the space you're in. So I'm actually going to place Bess right here. She's really, you can't move through enemy units. You can move through your friends, but you can't move through enemies. So she's really just trying to block Arthur from getting the Houdini. Arthur is a heavy hitter. Houdini's a magician and can do some wild, fun stuff. And Merlin, here's his token, evil-looking Merlin, is going to go right here. He's range attack. Range, you could hit someone next to you or a member in a spot of the same color as you. So on your action, here's a little cheat sheet on the back of your card to help you out. On your turn, you must take 2 actions. You may choose 2 different actions or the same. And here's the actions you can take. Maneuver. So maneuver is where you move. You move across the board up to your movement. But some people forget this. When you maneuver, you must draw a card from the top of your deck. You have to. You don't have that option. And that comes into play because if the game lasts a while, you run out of cards when you're supposed to draw a card, you're going to start taking damage. Rarely happens. Normally a game ends by then. And then you can move your fighter. Now, you can discard 1 card to boost your move. So let's say you had this card in your hand. This number right here is for boosting only. So if you maneuver, which Houdini has 2 movement, you can discard this card and add 3 more movement to it to move up to 5. So you see they all have different boost numbers down here. They can be used for different abilities. In Houdini's, remember, when you take the maneuver action and you boost, you can place Houdini in any space instead of moving. So boost it with any number, doesn't matter, and he disappears and can pop up anywhere on the board he wants to if you boost it, if you discard a card and do that. But you can run out of cards quickly by doing so. Then you have a scheme action. Remember, you take 2 actions. That's your maneuver, scheme. And a scheme action is just playing one of these. We're called scheme cards. So let's look through his deck. Here's a scheme card. Draw 3 cards, then put a card in your hand on top of your deck. So there's just different scheme cards. You might want to use it. Let's find another one. Houdini. Ah, look at that special foil one. Draw 2 cards, gain another action. So you could use an action maneuver, use an action to scheme, draw 2 cards, and you still got another action to maybe attack. So that's pretty cool. So that's scheming. And your other action, of course, is to attack. So when you attack someone, you're going to play a card that has your name on it. So some will say Houdini, some will say Bess, and some will say any. So if Bess is next to someone and wants to attack, you'd only play a Bess card. When you attack, you're going to be playing a card from your hand that either has this symbol, the attack symbol, or this one. You can either use for attack or defense. So you'll play that, and this is how much damage you'll do. And then down here, they may have some abilities, like this one. During combat, you can boost this card twice. So what's that mean? Let's say you're going to play this to attack someone. You're doing 2 damage. You're going to secretly place that down, and then let's say these 2 cards, you're going to boost it. You're going to add these numbers to that attack number. So remember that attack number was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you boost it, you're ignoring all the other stuff on this card. All up here, all down here. You're only looking at these numbers. So you're saying, I'm boosting, and this boost actually comes with a special ability. See? You boost it, add 2, and you recover 2 health. So let's say you're doing that. You're saying, I'm attacking and I'm boosting twice. Now, King Arthur will have some cards in his hand, and he can decide if he wants to defend it or not. So he will have, let me find, straight defense, which King Arthur doesn't have many, to be honest. He has this one that blocks, oh, that's Merlin, I'm sorry. So only Merlin could use this one, see? Only he could use it, which prevents all damage. And after combat, you can place them in any space. But let's say King Arthur will then play this defense. It blocks 3. So he's going to put that down. Then you'll secretly, not secretly, you'll secretly play them and then flip them back over. So Houdini said, I did 2 damage, and Merlin, King Arthur will flip his over. And it says, during combat, I can boost this card twice. So I did 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Plus that boost, I could heal myself twice if I had damage on me. So I did 6 damage. King Arthur says, okay, I blocked 3 of them. King Arthur also has a during combat. If you both have a during combat or at after combat or immediately, if you both have it, the defenders goes first. Because sometimes it may say it cancels all these effects. So King Arthur's will say, well, my during combat says your fighter started in a different space. This card's value is 5 instead. It doesn't come into play in this. That's mostly if you are attacking. Let's say he started in another space and he moved forward and then played this card to attack. It's a 5 instead for his momentous shift. So he's going to block 3. Houdini did 6. He blocks 3 of them. And then Houdini says, after combat, return 1 card you boosted to your hand. So this would be discarded. And one of these he boosted with goes right back in his hand. He'll just take that one and go back in his hand. It's a pretty dang good attack. And he would have done 3 damage to Arthur. And you go back and forth that way. And how you win the game is you destroy the opposing hero. Minions don't count. If you destroy a minion, who cares? Minions are there to get in the way and to protect their heroes. You got to destroy the hero to win the game. So let's play a little bit of a game. Let's check it out. Let me show you how it works. You start your hand with 5 cards. Let me reshuffle these decks. So Houdini, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to show you a little bit how it works. Big part of the game is secretly playing attacks and defense, and obviously I'm playing it solo. Not really playing the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's let King Arthur go first. So King Arthur has that, he has this immediately. So this one, you're faint, you can immediately cancel all the effects on the bottom of someone's card. Here's another momentous shift. Here's Merlin command the storms, move each fighter up to 3 spaces. Ooh, that could be pretty good. And he has Merlin's defense. So he could actually hit Houdini right now, but he doesn't have a super great hit is the problem. Because he could, you're like, how? Houdini's down here. I could have 2 actions. I could play this game, move each fighter up to 3 spaces. That would make Houdini, I could make him go 1, 2, 3. I could move her back. And then I could play this card to hit him for 3. I could do that. Houdini only starts with 14 health. I could do that just to get super aggressive. And screw it, why not? Merlin's going to play Command the Storms. Move each fighter up to 3 spaces. She's going bye-bye. 1, 2, 3. Get her out of here. He's going 1, 2, 3. Right next to me. Suck him up there. Secretly play. Momentous shift. If my fighter started this turn in a different space, value's 5 instead. He didn't. King Arthur sat in place. So he secretly plays that attack card. Houdini is going to see what he's going to do. He can only play a Houdini in any card and only his defense one. So it's only these 2. He can do this, Smoke and Mirrors. Immediately, Houdini and Bess may swap spaces. Ooh, that's pretty good. Because yet again, to win, Arthur has to kill Houdini. This one, after combat. Choose one of the fighters in the combat and move them up to 3 spaces. They may move through their opposing fighters. I'm actually going to play this one. Smoke and Mirrors. So we both secretly played a card. We flip them over. So immediately this happens. Houdini and Bess switch places immediately. Now, during combat, that doesn't count. And you see how much damage King Arthur does now to Bess. Bess blocks all 3 of them. Nothing goes through. He whiffed. And he's done with his turn. King Arthur's done with his turn. Now, King Arthur didn't maneuver, so he didn't draw another card. So he's limited now. He had 5 cards. He only has 3 because he didn't maneuver. So Houdini's going to go. Can Bess do anything? Bess can attack. Oh, hold up. Look at this. Flourish. Bess can do this. And I can boost it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to secretly play Flourish. I'm going to boost it with this card. It only adds 1, but if it's your turn, gain another action when you boost it. And so King Arthur can decide if he's going to defend. He's going to defend it with feint. We're going to flip him back over. Let's see what happens. Houdini is attacking with a boost. Well, King Arthur has this immediately effect. Cancel all effects on your opponent's card. It cancels the boost and everything. So even the card he boosted with is now wasted. So he does 3 damage. King Arthur blocks 2. So King Arthur takes 1 damage. Sorry, he started at 18. So he's down to 17. Houdini has 1 more action. He didn't like that. He's like, oh, crap. He can't do anything with these, not with Bess. So Houdini's going to maneuver. So first he draws a card. He gets this one. It's a defense card. This card's effects cannot be canceled. After combat, if your fighter was defeated, set their health at 4 instead and place them in any space. So you're going to want to hold on to this in case King Arthur takes out Houdini. But now he can move up to 2 spaces. She's going to move 1, 2 back here. And I don't know what to do with Houdini. Houdini's going to go 1, 2 right there behind her for the moment. And that's it. He took his 2 actions. So it goes back to King Arthur. He has these. He's going to do maneuver. So he draws 1 card, which is a King Arthur defense card. The Holy Grail after combat. If King Arthur has 4 or less health but is not defeated, set his health to 8. He can't do much else. He maneuvered. He can move up to 2 spaces. So he's just trying to bring the fight to him. He's going right up there to Bess. And whenever you maneuver, you can move all your people, your heroes and your minions. So Merlin's going to move here to 2. So that was the first action, maneuver, which is draw a card and move. And this is any. So Merlin's going to use this to shoot, to do his range attack. Remember, he does range. Purple, he can shoot at Houdini in purple. So he's secretly playing that card. And Houdini goes, ah, crap, I didn't know he could hit me. So he's looking to see. He doesn't want to play this. This is if he's defeated. He's saving that. Does he want to block it? This does 2. After combat, choose one of the fighters and move them up to 3 spaces. He's going to play this one. So we flip him over. This says during combat. If your fighter started the turn in a different space, it's a 5 instead of a 3. Merlin did start in a different space. So this does 5 damage. Houdini blocks 2 of them. So Houdini will take 3 damage. And then this comes in because it's after combat. Choose one of the fighters and move them up to 3 spaces. Houdini's moving Merlin the hell out of there. He doesn't like that he's in range. He wants to get him far away from range. So he's moving Merlin all the way over there with his vanishing act. And that's King Arthur's turn. Now we're going to go back to Houdini. See, immediately your opponent may boost their card, and you may boost this card. But you're allowing your opponent to boost theirs. Houdini's going to maneuver. He needs more cards in his hand. He doesn't have great cards. Remember, this only does 1. But look, the boost. See, it's not really great as an attack, but it's a sleight of hand. Use it for a boost and add 3. And you can draw a card. Interesting. Or you can play this in an attack. If you do, when you reveal the card as the attack, you can return this to your hand and choose a different card to play. Resolve all effects on that card as normal. Very interesting. Okay. So he maneuvered so he can move. Don't really have much I can do, to be honest. He's going to move Houdini right back here. He's going to move best 1 back 2. He's going to make where King Arthur has to move forward. And he's not attacking. He's just holding on to those cards. King Arthur's turn. All he has is 2 defense cards. He's maneuvering. He's got a scheme. Restless Spirits. Choose any space in Merlin's zone. Deal 2 damage to each opposing fighter in that space and in 1 adjacent space. So in his zone, the zone right now in Merlin's zone is blue. It doesn't do any good. So it's really, they don't have any cards. But King Arthur's putting the pressure on. Merlin's moving up 2. You could boost it if he wanted to when your movement. I could discard a card to move him up more, but he's fine right now. Houdini's going to go. Houdini's going to maneuver. This is for defense. You can boost it during combat. So that means you could see what the enemy hit you with and then decide to boost it, which is really good. Houdini's getting sick of all this. They maneuvered. He's going to move best over here. Houdini's running up, and he's going to attack. This is not the best idea, but you got to do something, right? Shoot. So he's secretly attacking with this. And King Arthur decides if he's going to block it. He only has this. So he can decide. He could say, no, I'm going to take it, which this only blocks 1, and this helps him if he has 4 less health, set it to 8. So actually, he's not going to, he said no, because he can't use these. King Arthur says he's taking it like a man. He's not going to block it at all. So Houdini flips it over, does 4 damage. Immediately, King Arthur can boost his card. He didn't play a card. Now during combat, I can boost this card. So now I know he's not defending at all. I can just boost the hell out of this and throw in whatever I want. Ooh, I'm boosting it for 3. Houdini's sneaky, sneaky. And drawing a card. So now it does 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. All of a sudden, King Arthur goes from 17 to 10. And Houdini gets to draw a card. And he draws this. Another smoke and mirrors. So Houdini moved and attacked. And he's done with his turn. King Arthur is pissed. He's like, oh, got you now. Maybe he doesn't. He only has 2 defense in that scheme. He has to maneuver. Oh no, it's Merlin. Oh, whoa, but look at this. He maneuvered. Merlin gets to move forward. He's going to just stay in that space. King Arthur, does he want to move back 1 or stand tall? He doesn't have really any defense. He's moving back 1. Now the second action, Merlin can attack. He could either choose any space in his zone until 2 damage. That's unblockable. It's just automatic 2 damage to each fighter. So you can deal 2 damage to Houdini and 2 damage to Bess. And if 1 fighter is defeated, you draw a card. Then no one will be defeated. Or you could do 4 damage. He could shoot, do 4 damage, and maybe, Houdini could block it. We don't know what he has. So he decides his second action, he's going to scheme. He's going to play that. Unblockable, 2 damage to each. Houdini's down to 9. So it's 9 to 10 right now. Bess down to 3. So that's King Arthur's turn. Back to Houdini. what Houdini has. He's going to maneuver. He's got another one of these. And so Houdini's starting to think. He's like, I remember last time King Arthur didn't defend, which makes me believe he doesn't have good defense. He didn't defend at all. And his last action, he maneuvered, and then Merlin shot something. So maybe he got a defense, maybe not. Maybe there's a good chance he doesn't. So Houdini's moving up one, and he's popping that sucker down again. The illusion of my own design. And seeing what King Arthur's going to do. And King Arthur goes, ah, crap. After combat, if he has 4 or less health, put it to 8. He has 10 now. He doesn't know how much damage that guy's going to do. It's going to bring him down that much. He's just going to take it again. Unfortunately, he didn't expect it to be another high number, but it is. It's a 4. It can be boosted after he plays it. He's going to boost it for 2 more and recover 2 health. So Houdini goes back up to 11. And he does 6 damage. Bring King Arthur to 4. Now King Arthur's really wishing he would have played that defense card that says if he had 4 health, he goes back up to 8. But he still has it. King Arthur is hurting over here. He maneuvers. He's really hoping to draw Excalibur. He didn't get it. There's a really good card in there. So he maneuvered. He can move. What he's going to do now, he is getting scared. He's moving through Merlin. And he's going to keep Merlin. Oh, he's going to move Merlin up 1. Because then Merlin can block anyone getting to King Arthur. King Arthur's got to, he's got to get some better cards. He's got to heal up. He's got to figure something out here. Now Merlin's second action. Merlin can do this. Nah. Merlin's going to do this. And aid the chosen one. He's doing 4 damage to Houdini. Houdini decided to try to block it. So he can do this, smoke and mirrors. He replaces with Bess. Or he can do this one. You can boost it. If you won, he's going to do smoke and mirrors. So pop, pop. He replaces with Bess. Bess is now in the combat. Flip this over. After combat. So Merlin does 1 damage to Bess. Bess is now down to 2 health. And after combat, if he won, which Merlin did win, he did damage. King Arthur gets to draw 2 cards. That is great. King Arthur got Swift Strike. After combat, move up to 4 spaces. And he got another feint. That helps him out a little bit. Goes back to Houdini. Houdini only has 1 card in his hand now. Defense. He's got to maneuver. So you can start running out of cards in your hand quick. Limits what you can do. All right, he got Flourish. Bess could try to attack Merlin. Merlin still has 7 health though. That's going to, you got to do something because Merlin, if you risk, if Merlin has a bunch of range attacks, he's going to be hitting Houdini over here. So Houdini's got to start moving. So Houdini's going to move back here again in a red spot because Merlin's on purple. So first, Houdini's going to do that. And Bess is actually going to move back 1. Get away from Merlin. No, Bess will stay. Doesn't matter if she moves or not because Merlin's a range attack. But she's not going to use her attack card. Instead, she's maneuvering again. We got another defense. But in that maneuver, they actually decide not to move. They're actually going to stay in place. King Arthur's going to go. Maneuver. Okay. After combat, if you won, choose one of the fighters and move them up to 2 spaces. Could be you or the enemy. Merlin has a chance of taking out Bess altogether. So he's actually going to play this one. Because I want, this is for attack or defense. Arthur's so low on health, I want to save that defense, really. Yep, he's going to do this. Swift Strike on Bess. Are they going to plan on defending it? They can't. These are only used for Houdini's attack. Bess cannot defend it. Flip it over. Bess is destroyed. Take her out of the game. And after combat, move your fighter up to 4 spaces. Your fighter's Merlin. He's the one who did that. So I can move him up to 4 spaces. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to get here. Try to get close to the red. But also, this is so versatile, he could hit all those zones if wherever Houdini goes. Okay. What is Houdini going to do? Is it going to maneuver? Let me discard that, sorry. His Vanishing Act. After combat, choose one of the fighters in combat and move them with 3 spaces. They move through opposing fighters. Okay, so he maneuvered. He's going to go 1, 2. He's got to just bring the fight to Arthur. Arthur's so low on health. And he sees Arthur has a pretty good hand of cards. Just doesn't know what's in them. He's a little scared. Houdini's got some defense. He's going to maneuver one more time. And he gets that sleight of hand card again. But does he move up to Arthur? Or does he stay there? You know what? He's going to move, but this is what he's going to do. So he can move 2 spaces, right? 1, 2. But he's going to boost his movement to move 1 more space. Oh, I don't want to use any of these cards, though. You can boost your movement and just add this to your speed, but you got to get rid of that card. I want to keep that card. I want to keep that card. I can boost this card for defense. Man, they're all good. I'm staying. Houdini's no wimp. You can put Houdini in a vat of water, lock him up, okay? Throw away the key. Do you think Houdini cares? You think, no, Houdini's going to get out of that. Okay, son? Houdini's going to get out of that. So Houdini runs up there in King Arthur's face and says, Alakazam, shabalaboo. Look out, sucker, what you're going to do. And King Arthur goes, what am I going to do? Shut. Let's find out, shall we? Does he maneuver and hope to get Excalibur, or does he just hit twice? I think King Arthur is going to first swing. He's going to swing with this, a skirmish. Plays that. Houdini doesn't know what he played. Wink, wink. Houdini's like, I could block for 2. I could boost it if I need to. Or I could do this and run. He's like, I don't want to run. I'm going to do this one. They flip him at the same time. Bada bing, bada boom. During combat comes first. You can boost this card. Houdini will take 2 damage. He can do this one where he draws a card. He's doing it. He's boosting it. Because of his ability, he can boost during combat, which means you could see it. He's doing it, blocking all damage, and he gets to draw a card. Would you look at that? That's what he draws. This is Bess one. Bess is dead. Sorry, Bess. But you can still use it to boost things with. So yeah, when someone dies, it limits, you can't use their cards anymore, but you can use them for boost things. So he did that. He blocked it all. After combat, they both have after combat. The defender one goes first. If you won the combat, place your fighter in any space. He did win. Guess what? He's going poof right behind you. Because now Merlin can't shoot at him. He's out of a range space. In his after combat, if you won, choose one of the fighters. You didn't win. You didn't win, Arthur, King of the Britons. You did nothing. God, make us sick. All right, Arthur still has another action. He's reeling. He's like, what the hell I do? No. He's going to maneuver. He only has 4 health left. God bless, he still didn't get Excalibur. He's going, help me, Merlin. Merlin, you scallywag. And Merlin moves up too. He's trying to get up there to help him. Did he want to boost that movement? Yes. He's going to... Let's see. He's right here. If you boost that movement 3, he can go 1, 2, 3. And Merlin go 1, 2, 3 and block him. Yeah. He's going to boost that movement. That's where he is now. Houdini goes. Houdini's laughing. Laughing. He's going to maneuver. You got this. Immediately cancel all effects on your opponent's card. See, Houdini has so many boost effects and abilities. King Arthur doesn't have any, but what King Arthur does have, which I just now remembered. When he attacks, you can boost that attack. Every time you can boost it. Son of a biscuit eater. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. Houdini maneuvered. He's just running up here into Merlin's face. And he's going to flourish on Merlin. Merlin's going to play that card. Flip him over. During combat, defender goes first. Prevent all damage. During combat, you can boost it. Doesn't matter, it's all prevented. After combat, place Merlin in any space. Merlin's going to stay where he is because he's blocking King Arthur. So he's going to stay put. So that was Houdini's turn. He moved and attacked. King Arthur's turn. He maneuvered. If I attack and boost it, it's not doing much. Attack with this and boost with that. That's what I'll do. He's maneuvering. Merlin goes 1, 2. Wait. So only King Arthur can boost. Merlin can't. That's right. So he's going 1, 2. King Arthur's running up. King Arthur's attacking with feint. And he tells him he's going to boost. You have to tell him. Houdini. Will defend with this. You flip him over. King Arthur says, I did 2, but I boosted. Ha ha. Houdini says, no, you didn't. Cancel all effects on your card. King Arthur's like, you son of a... Because if you see here, if your opponent cancels the effects on your card, the boost is discarded without effect. Boost did not go through. And you see, they both have immediately, they both say the same thing, but the defender's goes first. So the defender's cancels his. His doesn't cancel the defender's. So boom, Houdini blocked him. Houdini in this game, right now, is being a beast. King Arthur, Houdini maneuvers. He pulls a scheme. Draw 2 cards, gain 1 action. He maneuvered, but he's staying in place. Second action is going to be this scheme. Draw 2 cards and gain an action. Trying to get a good fight card. 1, 2. Look at you. Okay. And his action that he gained, he's attacking with that. King Arthur's reeling. King Arthur's defending with this. This is chance of surviving. You're flipping him over. This one says during combat, you can boost this card twice. So right now it's doing 2 damage. He will boost it with this one and do two more. So he's going to do 4 damage to King Arthur, which will normally kill him. King Arthur played this to block 1, so he is at 1 damage. And then if he has 4 or less, set his health to 8. So the Holy Grail brings him back up to 8. Houdini, when he boosted it, it says look at your opponent's hand and choose a card for them to discard. Guess what, King Arthur? Discarding that, you have no cards left. And now the after combat comes in effect. Return 1 card you boosted with to your hand. I boosted with this one. I'll turn it back to my hand. I can only use it to boost, but that's a good card to boost. Make my opponent get rid of a card. So Houdini's done. He maneuvered and he schemed and got that extra action attack. King Arthur's going. He's now going to have 1 card in his hand. He maneuvers. What does he do? Does he move? I think he has 8 health. Houdini has 11. And King Arthur knows he has several cards. He doesn't know what they are, but he knows he has several cards. King Arthur's got, when he maneuvers, he's got to move and make Merlin go up there and defend. And he's going to maneuver again. And he got that. But he's staying in place. Houdini's going to go. Houdini's going to maneuver. Okay, his second action, he'll be to attack Merlin. Merlin's going to take it. They don't want to waste any of those cards. So Merlin takes 2 damage. He's from down to 7 down to 5. And after combat, choose any one of the fighters and move them up to 3 spaces. They may move through their opposing fighters. So choose one of the fighters, Houdini, move up to 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. He's going to pop up back there with his little magic ways. King Arthur's turn. That's what he's got. He's going to maneuver 1. Gosh, still didn't get Excalibur. And he's going to attack with this one. He's got to stop running. That's not what Arthur does. Houdini. He's going to block with this one. They flip him over. Boom. Houdini blocks 2. During combat, you can boost this card. Houdini's like, of course I will. I'll boost it with this one, you sucker. He blocked all damage. And when he boosted it, he can make King Arthur... Oh, when King Arthur attacks, he could have secretly boosted his attack. He would have, okay? So he did 6 damage. He boosted it with that 2. So he did 6 damage. His 4 plus 2. So Houdini blocked 4 of them. So he'll take 2 damage. 1, 2. And when he boosted it, he boosted that card that you can discard a card from the enemy's hand. He discards the only card King Arthur has. After combat, if you won, place your fighter in any space. Houdini did not win. King Arthur's after combat, if you won, choose one of the fighters in the combat and move them up to 2 spaces. So King Arthur did win. He doesn't have another action left, so he can't swing again. He knows Houdini's going to hit him. Does he stay in place, or does he move a little bit? So Houdini can't hit him twice. That's what he's going to do. He's just going to move here. King Arthur has no cards in his hand. So he's no way to defend, and Houdini knows that. Houdini's going to go. Houdini's going to maneuver. Houdini's going to run up. And Houdini's going to smack him. Playing that doesn't even need to be secret. He could boost it twice. So he's doing 2 damage. He could boost this card. He could boost this card twice. 3, 4, 5, 6. So he still can't kill him. But he'll do this. He'll boost it with this one so he can recover 2 health. So he does 4 damage to Arthur. Recovers 2. And after combat, return 1 card you boosted to your hand. So it goes right back to his hand. So your maneuver did that. King Arthur maneuvers, draws 1 card. His momentous shift. What he's going to do, he's going to maneuver. He's going to move 1. And he's going to make, oh, and Merlin's going to move 1. And then Merlin will play momentous shift. It's any. And since he started in a different space, it's 5 instead of 3. Houdini's going to see if he's going to block it. Nope. He'll play this one. So it's 5 damage. And this one. So Houdini's going to take 3. 1, 2, 3. He's down to 8. After combat, choose one of the fighters in the combat, move them up to 3 spaces. They may move through their opposing fighters. So Houdini can make Merlin get the hell out of there, which he will. He sends Merlin reeling all the way back there. It's Houdini's turn. He only has 1 card. That's all he's got. King Arthur has 0 cards. Houdini's hoping to maneuver, get a good fighting card. He gets that. He's going to move up 1. And he's going to throw it down. He knows King Arthur can't block it. So it just goes into effect. It does 2 damage to King Arthur. King Arthur's down to 2. After combat, move 1 of your fighters up to 1 space. Draw 1 card. Gain 1 action. He's not going to move him. He's going to draw 1 card. And guess what? Gain another action. Going to hit him again with a misdirection for 2. Bringing King Arthur down to 0. That's the game. Let's go down. I'll tell you my final thoughts. As you can see, it's an easy to learn, easy to explain how to play game. The complexity and the decisions come in each individual hero's deck of cards and how they play. As you saw, King Arthur's just straight up hit hard. Unfortunately, he never got some of his hard-hitting cards that came into play. And Houdini's is a lot of boosting, special abilities, and kind of popping up around the map. Everyone's going to play differently. You got Squirrel Girl from Marvel. There's a bunch of little squirrel tokens you can move around, a whole bunch of them. You got Robin Hood, good at range. He's got his Merry Men. He's got several of them he can move around the board. You got Ghost Rider, who could fly around the board in his motorcycle, doing damage as he moves through enemies, doing fire damage. You got the T-Rex, who could do melee attacks up to a couple spaces away, does a lot of damage, but he's also easier to hit because he's so big. You got Genie, who does all kind of crazy magic attacks. You got Bigfoot, who's going to hit real hard if he gets up close to you. You got the Invisible Man, who has these smoke tokens that you lay on the board, and he can pop up through the smoke tokens and move around. You got items that you can play that are around the board that you can pick up the items and move. There's so much versatility in this game. The game is amazing. Okay, people? The game is amazing. This game is over a 9.5 to me. The game is spectacular. It's phenomenal. The more they come out with it, the better it gets. They just announced a set at this time. It's just been announced the the Shakespeare set that comes with Shakespeare, comes with Hamlet, comes with a couple other his characters. I can't remember which ones they were at this moment. They keep coming out with unbelievable sets to mix match and fight against each other. I mean, they had the Marvel license, came out with tons of Marvel. They have Deadpool, which his deck's just funny. It's just, I wouldn't actually say you play it, but it's just comical and ridiculous, and because it breaks that fourth wall. And it's like if you do this right now, like you as you're playing the game, if you stand up and say this will happen. I mean, it's really silly. There's so much going on for this game. It's phenomenal. A 9 point. You have to get this game. Is it the best tactical skirmish board game out there? Yes, it is. It is the best. What are you doing? Go to your local game store. Run out there and buy this game. Stop watching me. Go. Hit like and subscribe though before you do that. That'd be cool. Thank you. 2 Minute Soldier out.